So the video shows 2 days later, you wheel Chloe Moore out in a suitcase, put her in this blue car. I'm not making this up. It's all on video. She ended up dead inside your apartment.
No,
and ultimately she ended up in this suitcase, and ultimately she ended up at Upper Park.
Meet 39-year-old Anthony Millspaugh. 1 year ago, Anthony was recorded as he murdered an 18-year-old girl, hiding her in a suitcase and leaving her in these woods to disappear.
This is a snapshot of you walking across the street, and that's Chloe Moore in your arms.
For all that time, Anthony thought he had gotten away with it all, but reality check?
You're kind of fighting for your life because this young girl died.
After reality check is about to prove him wrong.
You didn't do anything to help her out. You didn't call 911, you didn't do anything. The whole outcome to this thing makes you look horrible, okay?
On September 3rd, 2023, the Tacoma Fire Department raced to a wooded area after receiving calls about a fire that had broken out in the brush. Initially, it looked like someone had set bags of trash on fire, but as soon as the flames were snuffed out, they were faced with the reality of what had been set aflame. There, in the middle of the brush, lay the body of a teenage girl in a suitcase, which had been her final resting place. She was taken for an autopsy and soon identified as 18-year-old Chloe Moore. Chloe had just graduated from high school. A bright girl, she worked at a local Safeway to fund her schooling to become a dental hygienist. But in an instant, that was all taken away from her. And after a year of investigation, police were able to narrow in on who was the last one to see her. 39-year-old Anthony Millspaugh, a man who was convicted of second-degree murder at 17 years old and had just been released from prison a year prior to the day Chloe was last seen. Not only did they have text messages pointing to Chloe and Anthony meeting up just before her death, but they had hours of surveillance footage showing that he was with her that entire night, even disappearing into the woods with her moments before her body was set ablaze. In 2024, police brought him in for questioning, armed with armloads of evidence proving that he was the person who put Chloe in a suitcase and set it aflame.
The reason we brought you down here is because we want to talk about an incident that happened last September, okay? So this has been a long investigation, and we've been putting all our ducks in a row and getting everything before we came to talk to you, okay? Do you have any idea why you're here?
No, gosh, I'm just wondering.
Okay, all right. Do you have any idea why you're here?
To be honest, I don't. I mean, I know it's a lot that goes on, and, sometimes people might see things or different things like that, but I to be honest, I don't. I'm trying to figure it out, so.
Okay. So this case started off, it was essentially a missing person case. And it was a young girl, her name was Chloe. I don't know if you remember Chloe. Do you remember her?
I know Cleo, which I think is Cleo. Well, I thought it was Cleo.
Chloe Moore. Have you ever heard of her? Her mom, so she went missing, and her mom put missing person flyer all over the hilltop. She's from that area.
No, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I didn't know her last name was Moore though.
Oh. You remember her?
No, yeah, I know who she is.
You know who she is?
She used to work at the like a little station or something, I think it was like it's like a gas station. I don't know, she used to catch the bus. But yeah, I knew her, and I knew another little young chick, and then what was her name? I'm trying to remember the other chick's name.
How long did you know Chloe?
I mean, I can't say that I knew her well, but her and the other girl, I knew, they'd be out running around and stuff, but I bet her she had her boyfriend, or whoever it was.
you remember his name?
I don't know why I want to say like Aaron or something like that. He kind of got her like turned out on like drugs and stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
She used drugs?
Yeah. Unfortunately, she did like the
Oh, she did. You say? Okay.
yeah.
Is that?
I believe, honestly, to be honest, I don't know, I believe so.
Okay, so you knew her to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That and like,
Okay.
but,
Okay. Did you ever talk to her about that, or did you ever meet up with her about the?
Twice I've seen her, you know what I mean, like do it, her and the other girl. I don't really like it. It's not really my thing, but I know people go through different stuff out here.
Mm-hmm. Did you?
No,
No, you never.
She offered it to me once, and I was like, nah, I'm cool.
Okay.
First off, I'm on probation, but I don't like those hard drugs like that.
Okay.
It's not cool.
So Anthony, like I said, we've been doing this investigation for like almost a year now, and through that investigation, we've been able to gather video evidence and physical evidence and phone evidence and that kind of stuff. So, and through our investigation, we were able to track her to your apartment. And a few nights before this other incident I talked about, she shows up there on video camera. Do you remember meeting up with her?
Yeah, she was, hopefully, her boyfriend was trying to, I want to say dude's name was like Aaron or something. But
Mm-hmm.
she was, yeah, he did some pretty.
You did to her? Okay, and then so she met up with you at your apartment?
I'm pretty sure that she.
This is a man who's sure of one thing, and one thing only. He doesn't want to go to jail. How Chloe and Anthony knew each other hasn't been publicly discussed. At the time, it seems that Chloe was experimenting with drugs, a trap that many young adults fall into. And given that Anthony was a drug dealer, not a very good one at that, police believe that that is how the two became connected. Unfortunately, that connection would become Chloe's downfall, and at the time, it's likely she had no idea that the man she was getting substances from had just strolled out of prison for not just killing someone, but injuring several back in 2002, before she was even born. If you want to see more people just like Anthony try to lie their way out of prison for the second time, be sure to like and subscribe. It's literally all we do here.
So, do you remember the incident I'm talking about where you met up with her and you guys walk in front of her apartment?
You said we walk in front of her.
In front of your apartment.
I mean, I've walked in front of my apartment like multiple times with her. Sometimes she'd come around the other side and we just talk, and she'd be like, "Okay, I'm going. I think he's coming." Or, yeah, the last time I seen her, it was kind of bad, I guess.
Do you know ultimately what happened to her?
To be honest, I thought all this time it was like a drug overdose.
What was a drug overdose? What happened to her?
The last time I had actually, like literally the last time I had actually seen her, she was just like, I don't know, I can't keep doing this. I'm tired of being scared of him and just running from him, and he's never gonna let me go. You know what I mean? So, and then I had asked her what she meant. And it's crazy because she reminded me of a friend I had named.
Well, Anthony, I can tell you what happened to her. She died and she was murdered. Did you know about that?
I did not know she was murdered.
Did you hear about that?
No, I heard that.
Because that's what our investigation shows. So do you remember meeting up with her in front of your apartment? And do you remember walking with her and then you cross Martin Luther King Way and you guys end up behind a building?
Yeah, she wanted to go and smoke.
She wanted to go smoke.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, we got video, and the video shows her walking with you across the street. You guys go behind this building, and next thing you know, you're carrying her across the street. You remember that?
And I remember she hit it a couple times, and I was like, "Come on, let's get out of here." And she was like, "Just let me hit it one more time. I just need to hit it one more time." And then she hit it, and she was standing there, and I was like, "Please, come on." And she just stood there, and she kind of like looked at me. And I was like, "Come on, we can go sit down or something." And he was gonna take a step, but it was like kind of like unwobbly or something. And I think how like her nose started to bleed or something. And I was like, "Come on," you know what I mean? And she's like, "Just help me." And I just picked her up.
Yeah, so you picked her up. Where'd you take her?
Toward my building.
Was she unconscious at this time, or?
She was like mumbling. She was just mumbling and stuff.
Did you ever think to call 911 or anything like that?
Actually, I did think to call 911 because I'm like, I know she's like OD off this stuff, but I didn't. To be honest, I didn't know exactly how serious like all the whole stuff was being gone as long as I was. But she was like, I told her, I said, "Hey, want to go to the emergency?" Because I asked her that downstairs too, and she kept saying, no, he'll find me. And then she just mumbled some more. So.
And what happened from there?
I think I ended up bleeding real quick.
Anthony, I told you we've been doing this investigation for a year, right? So through that investigation, we've gathered a lot of information. A lot of the questions that I'm asking you, I already know the answers to. The whole outcome to this thing makes you look horrible, okay? Me and Detective Deere, we're homicide detectives, okay? You're kind of trying to fit this narrative to make yourself look more innocent. Okay?
Actually, no. I'm just, to be honest, like I'm just going over everything in my head because it's not.
This whole thing is horrible, you know.
It's horrible.
And this whole thing makes you look like a horrible monster. Is what it's making you look like, because we know what the outcome, the final outcome. Chloe Moore, she ended up dead, and then after she died, something even maybe more horrible than dying, something else happened to her. And I'm trying to give you a little bit of leeway so that way you can kind of explain and give some reasoning as to why these things happen. So the video that we have shows you and Chloe Moore meeting in front of 824 Martin Luther King Way, right? And it shows you guys walking down, you walk northbound on the sidewalk, then you guys cross MLK to the east, you guys go behind a building, right? And then something happens back there.
She smokes.
Right. And then video footage shows you carrying Chloe Moore across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Can you confirm that? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I told you she.
And just so you know, I'm not trying to pull your leg or anything like that. We have snapshots. This is a snapshot of you walking across the street, and that's Chloe Moore in your arms.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then right here's, this is the Franklin Rosa Apartments, and then the KOZ is right here. Right between there's like a little alcove or alleyway.
Where we go.
Yeah. And video shows that you put her there.
Yeah, I set her down right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The next video shows you carrying her inside of your apartment. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have video clips of that.
Hmm.
That refreshes your memory, right?
No, but I told you I did that.
Okay. You didn't tell me you did that.
Yeah,
You told me you
called
called somebody for help and then you left.
No, I said I had to call somebody, but we sat downstairs for us a little bit. But I told
But
you I
Anthony,
was
this is very important. These little details are very important, okay? Because right now, you know what? You're kind of fighting for your life because this young girl died, right? You didn't do anything to help her out. You didn't call 911. You didn't do anything. You carried her. You put her in your apartment.
Okay, and so I'm wrong because my friend overdosed because she didn't want to smoke by the building or in the building because she like, you know, I don't want to do that stuff over here because you live here, and so I'm trying to help her. I get her inside. I don't understand why it's
What else did you do to help her?
I tried to get her to drink some water. She didn't want any. But her nose was bleeding, and she like, I just want to lay down and relax. And but she's like mumbling, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And can't really understand too much. But I told her, I said I can call 911, and she just like no. She was like no, he can find me. I don't know.
Sadly, Chloe was not even remotely conscious in the footage the police have. Her toxicology report indicated that she died of an overdose. By the time Anthony was carrying her to his apartment, less than 20 minutes after they disappeared behind the building to do drugs, she wasn't moving. The window to save someone ODing is tragically short. Instead, he carried her into his apartment, where she could die without anyone seeing or intervening. And instead of owning up to his terrible choice, he tries to push law enforcement toward her boyfriend, which is a tactic that's working about as well as you'd think, given the amount of footage police have.
So what happened? Did she ultimately pass away in your apartment?
That I don't know. That I actually don't know.
Well, we do know because over this year-long investigation, we've uncovered a lot of information, and I understand that you probably don't want to go back to prison. What'd you do, like 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so now you're stuck, and you don't want to go back to prison. I got that. But she stays in your apartment for almost 2 days. And ultimately she comes out, but she doesn't walk out.
What do you mean?
Well, because I told you we have video and we have snapshots and we have this and we have that. We have phone evidence. Do you remember calling somebody?
I called a couple people actually.
Who's this person right here?
Oh, that's my nephew.
What's his name?
TJ.
TJ. Okay, so you called him, and he obviously came over to help you.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say if I told you that we talked to him already? What is he gonna tell us?
Mm-hmm.
There's some more pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a night.
You said it was at night?
That was that night.
No,
I'm
yeah.
talking about. Because Chloe Moore sits in your apartment for almost 2 days, and then she comes out on this night. But she doesn't walk out. You call TJ and he comes and helps you. You remember that part?
On the night that I called and asked her on the night that what can I do? You know what I'm saying? If someone's overdosing. So yeah, I did call him.
You did call him and he came over. Because that's what he told us and that's what the video shows.
No, yeah, he came over there the night that she OD'd, you know what I'm saying, which I believe is that night right there. Because I asked him, who else can I ask? The other person I asked, like, I don't know, dude, I don't mess with that stuff. Give him a Narcan or something like that. And he's like, outside of that, he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't deal with people who get high like that. And whenever I asked him, he was just like, I don't know.
So TJ came over and he helped you, and you guys walked out, and Chloe Moore, she's in that suitcase right there. You remember that?
That's what he said?
Well, not only did he say that, but we have evidence that shows that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
What would you like to see?
And he said that's what he said, that you have evidence that that's what he said or whatever it is, but.
No, we have evidence that shows that, but we brought TJ in and he told us the same thing. So the video shows 2 days later, you guys wheel Chloe Moore out in a suitcase, put her in this blue car right here, and then you guys take her to Upper Park. You remember that?
So you said that I put her
in the trunk of this blue car. That's why this is not an overdose case. This is a murder case. Because I'm telling you the evidence that we have. I don't typically tell people what evidence we have, but I want you to I'm giving you an opportunity so that way you can explain these things away. Because in the end, we have this young girl that's in a suitcase.
Okay, but that's what I'm not understanding, because you guys are saying that it's a homicide.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand how you guys are saying that it's a homicide. But it's, yeah, that doesn't.
Do you have a better explanation? How did she end up in the suitcase? In your suitcase.
In my suitcase?
Your suitcase.
Well, actually, it wasn't your suitcase. It was inherited by one of your family members that had recently passed away. It was a very distinctive suitcase that was green in color, and it had brown leather trim around it.
That's the question. How did she end up in the suitcase? What happened in the apartment?
Anthony is a classic example of history repeating itself. His cousin TJ was just 17 years old when Anthony called him to help him dispose of the body, and Anthony, out of anyone, should have known the risk he was putting TJ in by calling him for help. Because when Anthony was 17, he was the getaway driver in a homicide. In 2002, a then 17-year-old Anthony attempted to rob some acquaintances of marijuana. In the process, one man, Cody Glotfelty, was killed. Another 2 young men were seriously injured. After committing the shooting, Anthony tried to leave town, but was caught in a sting operation and sentenced to 20 years behind bars. And instead of trying to urge his nephew to avoid a life of crime and go down the same path he had, he instead encouraged it.
Like my brother said here, we're looking at a murder case.
So, but that's what I'm not understanding is how is it a murder case though? Because I don't, like, I'm not trying to like pick like hairs or anything like that. I'm literally trying to understand how.
So she's seen with you, alive, perfectly fine, and then she's no longer functioning, and next thing you know, she's dead. So somehow she got that way. And you're not doing a very good job telling us how that happened. You're going around the issue and around the issue. So.
Anthony,
to be honest, I'm just trying to keep my nephew from getting caught up.
Well, he's already caught up. That's the thing.
And some bullshit.
In fact, yeah, your nephew was downstairs. So he's already wrapped up in this thing. This is a murder investigation. So, but you need to be able to articulate, okay, this is what happened step by step, okay? But you're to protect yourself, you're kind of skirting around the issue. Yeah, maybe I met her there in front, yeah, maybe she might have smoked something and then she was, but ultimately she ended up dead inside your apartment.
No,
and ultimately she ended up in this suitcase, and ultimately she ended up at Upper Park. And if that's not tragic enough, somebody caught her on fire. And I got it, man. I know you don't want to go back to prison. But me and my partner get called out at 2 o'clock in the morning. We go out to Upper Park for a fire. Tacoma Fire goes there, they put out a fire, and they found a girl in a suitcase. We pull video and we see your car leaving the area. We get phone records and we find Chloe Moore at your apartment. We get all this video.
And ultimately the reason of her death is her interaction with you.
What do you mean the reason of her death was her interaction?
She died as a result of her interaction with you. After you met her, nobody else saw her alive.
Okay. She ultimately died because of her. No, she literally overdosed off of a drug.
So let me ask you this: where did she get the drug from? And again, I know you're trying to protect yourself, but this is where you need to be honest, because like I said, we have a ton of evidence,
Okay.
and that includes phone evidence, everything. We can see what calls she made, we can see what calls you made, we got all that preserved.
So you do realize that I do understand that, right?
Okay.
So, but literally, only thing I ever did with her was, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, that's the only thing I ever did with her. And then I gave her her hands, you know what I'm saying? Like, she had little stuff that she, you know what I'm saying, in a little container, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that,
the video shows you waiting outside for her. She takes a little bit too long. You say, hey, are you coming? And then next thing you know, you see her on video walking northbound on Martin Luther King Way. You meet up with her, then you guys walk northbound on the sidewalk. And when you guys not walk northbound on the sidewalk, guess what? You guys walk by some video cameras.
mm-hmm.
And the video camera shows you perfectly. It shows Chloe Moore perfectly. And she's not high. She's walking perfectly.
Yeah, she's not high.
You remember she had a big bag, and you actually take the bag from her.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to. It looked like you were trying to be a gentleman.
Yeah,
Because it looked like a heavy bag.
It was,
right?
And she had a bottle with her. She had met somebody else.
But then you guys go in the alleyway, and you guys are in the alleyway for a period of time, and then next thing you know, when she comes out, and it's not very long, it's maybe 13 minutes or so. When she comes out, you're carrying her. You carry her, you put her between the building, you go upstairs to your apartment, you change your clothes, and then you come back downstairs and you carry her into your apartment.
I don't remember changing my clothes. I think I changed my, what's it called, because I had a...
You were hot and sweaty, because I saw that.
Blues is street slang for counterfeit painkillers. And obviously, I'm not talking about Advil here. According to texts between Anthony and Chloe, on September 1st, the day police believe she died, she had texted him saying she was experiencing withdrawals. Desperate to stop the nausea, body aches, and heart palpitations, she reached out to him to get some blues to fix it. Unfortunately, that final roll of the dice cost her her life, and she never got a chance to overcome her addiction.
But yeah, as far as the whole, like, homicide thing, there was no homicide. And it's crazy because I remember telling her, I was like, hey, don't hit it again. You already hit it like twice. And I can see her like getting, you know what I'm saying, like drowsy, and she kind of started crying, and she's like, just one more little hit, then we can go. And I'm like, all right. And she hit it again, and it kind of like just stood there for a second, and I'm like, you all right? And she's like, give me a second. And she said, give me a minute. And I think she went to a like squat down. And I was like, no, I was like, get up. And I was like, are you ready? She's like, yeah. She's like, can you help me? She's like, I can't walk. She's like, I'm high. And I was like, okay. And then that's literally why I picked her up. She had what's it called? The blood coming out of her nose and stuff. And I remember when I sat her down, she was kind of like just mumbling. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, I think she's overdosing. And so I was like, I didn't really know what to do. But I'm like, well, if she's mumbling, I mean, she's, you know, for the most part, she's got to be okay. I don't know how the OD stuff works like that. That's one of the things that I've truly never really been around it like that. So.
Did you ever bring anything down to help her? Because the video shows you go up to your apartment and you get something and then you come back down.
I think I went up there. I got like some water or something. So I had they're like, what are they things? Like
Frozen French fries?
I don't know. I I remember, I think it was something I just brought her like back of her neck. I think I like grabbed her something like the back of her neck, like something cool.
Something cool?
Yeah, like cold or something.
What is that?
Yeah, okay, frozen french fries. But yeah, I put them on.
Why'd you do that, kid?
Because I figured it would help her, you know what I mean?
It would help her from the overdose?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
Frozen French fries help with a lot of things, but they do not help with an OD. Given the substances that Anthony was selling and providing, his repeated claims that he didn't know what to do or didn't know anything about overdoses doesn't really hold water. When you're in that world, you sadly see them, and Anthony had been in that world his whole life.
When did you realize she ultimately passed away?
When I came back, she was still in the shower.
She was in the shower?
Yeah. And I had called to her. And I'm like, please. And she didn't see anything. The water was still running. I'm like, please. And I was like, please. And when I actually went there and peeked, she was squatted down. I was like, how you are? In my shower, you enter, it's just a little story, you guys see it. She was squatted down in the back like this, with the water running down on her. I was like, please. She wasn't moving. I tried to do the CPR stuff on her, and she ended up, I think, I don't know if she was like, if she threw up, you know what I mean, or what, because I wasn't even like, I was trying to feel for like a pulse, but I wasn't sure, and I was like, so I was trying to do like the CPR, like different stuff, and then I was like, man, so I wish I would have called, but it was one of the things when I was trying to be respectful of her situation, you know what I mean, like how she wanted to handle it, but yeah. And then I had asked my nephew. I need to know something. And he was already supposed to come over there and help me. You know what I mean? Straighten up, get everything moved out, but I was gonna have to move out anyway. And so he came over there, and I actually, he was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, and like she OD'd him, and I was like, well, I know she OD'd. He's like, no. He's like, she really OD'd. He's like, yeah, she OD'd. She had the blood, like how it was.
Whose idea was it to put her in a suitcase?
He wasn't even, I don't even think he was there for any of that.
No. So was that you that put her in a suitcase? There's only two people coming and going from that apartment. That's you and him.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He wasn't even in there. I think he ended up going downstairs.
How did she end up in a suitcase?
To be honest, I'm not even sure.
Well, we know she didn't crawl in the suitcase by herself and zip it up. And then the video shows you wheeling the suitcase out. Well, Anthony, is only two people in that apartment. Was your nephew, TJ, and you. If you're saying you didn't put her in the suitcase, then it was TJ.
No, that's what I'm saying. TJ, he,
Well, I don't know why you can't come out and just tell me you put her in the suitcase, because somehow she magically ends up in a suitcase.
no, what I'm telling you is I literally like, when I'm literally thinking about it, like, you don't know how many times I've actually like wondered, you know what I'm saying, like, what the hell? Because I didn't even know, to be honest, that she did lose. Whenever I was talking about blue, I was always talking about, you know what I mean? They call it
Okay.
poop, like.
We're past that, Anthony. We know what happened. I talked to you about the conversation. I'm talking about.
I'm letting you know.
And
like,
for some reason, you don't want to talk about how she ended up in a suitcase, and the video shows you wheeling her out of your apartment in a suitcase, and it's a green suitcase. It was a big green suitcase, and we saw it on video, and we see you handling it, and then when we go to Upper Park, we find the same suitcase, so we know it's the same suitcase, right? And somehow it's loaded in your car. The only two people on video is you and TJ. That's it. See how you're getting TJ wrapped up in this. You're saying that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, because
Hey,
I'm trying to literally like.
I understand. I understand you were in prison for 20 years, right? You did your time. And I understand that you're scared and you don't want to tell us what happened. But we have physical evidence that shows what you did, and you're skirting around all the facts. It just doesn't make you look good. It makes you look like you're lying, or you're talking sideways, so that way you can't. You got to face these questions directly. Yeah, I put her in a suitcase. Yeah, I wheeled her out. Yeah, I put her in my car, in my blue Ford Focus. That's the same blue Ford Focus that you were stopped in August. You were at 19th and MLK at a gas station. I watched the whole video, right? And that's the same car we see roll up at Upper Park. And we see you roll up with your lights off. You actually do it 2 times. You roll up first time, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know if you got spooked or whatever. Then you back up, and then you leave, and then maybe less than 5 minutes later you come back. And we can see on video that you unload the suitcase out of the back of your car, and you wheel it across the road. And we know that TJ was a lookout. TJ walked up to the apartments to see if there was anybody looking. Right? And then he comes back, and then you guys meet up, and you roll her down into the ravine right there. And then TJ comes out first, he gets in the car, and then there's a fire down in the woods, and then it shows you running out, getting in the car and leaving.
The entire time that Anthony left Chloe in his apartment, her family was desperately looking for her. On September 2nd, the day after Chloe went missing, her mother sent her the following text. "Chloe, if you're getting my calls and messages, baby girl, please just let me know you're all right. I can hardly breathe. My mind is all over the place. I'm really, really scared. We drove all around everywhere looking for you last night. You're not in trouble. Just call and let me hear your voice and you're good. Please, Chloe. I have to report you missing around 7 a.m. I know you don't want all that extra BS. Just call me real quick, pumpkin. I love you, Chloe. You're my person."
This thing is just, the whole thing is just, I'm sorry, it affects me.
It should affect you.
You know what I mean? Like, this was my friend. This is someone I have met. This is my friend.
It should affect you. This should be, that's why this should be ingrained in your brain, and you should know every little detail. And when I ask you about it, yeah, this is what happened. Yeah, you're right. I'm not making this shit up. It's all on video. It's all on phone records. This has been a year-long investigation. So for you to sit here and tell us that, I don't know how that happened, you know what I mean? How'd I know those were a Ryder crinkle fries? But man, you gotta come forward and just tell us the truth. That's all we're asking.
I didn't do the best that I could because I should have just called. When I
Well, you should have, but
she
you know
was
what?
overdosing.
You didn't do that. She was in your apartment for almost 2 days, right? She died, all right?
Yeah, she
Or was she alive when you put her in the suitcase?
she that night that she OD'd that's the night I believe she died, because when I tried to check her pulse, I couldn't tell.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you couldn't feel a pulse?
And I was like, I couldn't tell if it was mine or hers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I tried to.
Did you put her in the suitcase, or did TJ put her in the suitcase?
TJ didn't put her in the suitcase.
So you did?
I can't, to be honest, to be honest, I don't know, but I know it wasn't TJ because.
Well, the video only shows 2 people, so it has to be by process of elimination.
Well, he wasn't even there. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. He wasn't even there.
Okay.
So like when he came, he literally just came out, was helping me clean up.
Okay.
Like that's literally what my nephew did. And I asked him a bunch of questions about shit.
Okay. So
Yeah.
somehow, so she ends up in the suitcase, and it has to be you, right? There's no other people, and you said that you lived there by yourselves. That's you and TJ. TJ didn't do it, so it had to have been you, right? And then the video shows you guys wheeling the suitcase out. Okay. And then your car is parked in the alley. Do you remember putting the suitcase in the car, in the trunk?
No, yeah, I remember that.
Okay. And then from there, do you remember driving to Upper Park?
I don't even know where Upper Park is.
Upper Park is above the Tacoma Dome by McKinley Avenue.
I know down the hill. I do remember that.
Okay. And do you remember taking her out of the trunk and wheeling her across the street? And TJ was acting as a lookout, and then he comes out to meet you, and then you guys end up in the wooded area, and then you set it on fire. Do you remember that?
Actually, I didn't set it on fire.
Did TJ set it on fire?
No.
Who set it on fire? Because video from the gas station shows that you bought gas before that.
Yeah, from my.
Do you remember that?
Like, I understand you guys have this down as like a murder thing, but it wasn't a murder thing. Nobody murdered anybody. Nobody did any of that. Like, literally, my friend overdosed. I literally left the apartment. I think I went out to the living room, and I was kind of like just standing there for a second because I was like, damn.
Okay, so did you take her out of the shower?
No, I was, to be honest, I was scared to touch her after that.
Okay, so you left the apartment? What you're saying?
Yeah, whatever timeline, like it's gonna show like when I left. I went.
But then you came back, right?
Yeah, because I was just. Like,
Was she still in the shower?
Yeah, she stayed in the shower. She stayed in the shower. I just didn't know what to do.
We could find no evidence proving that TJ helped Anthony put Chloe in the suitcase, or was even aware of what was inside it. However, he did accompany Anthony to buy an accelerant, and served as the lookout, flashing the vehicle lights when the coast was clear for them to dump the suitcase.
I'm literally having to reprocess something, you know what I'm saying? And even to myself, it's like, what? Why? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's very traumatic, right?
And so I'm sitting here, you guys want the answers that you want.
No, we don't want the answers that we want.
No, I'm saying you want the answers to the questions that you have, so you want the answers that you want.
Because we have the truth, we have the physical evidence. That never lies. When we do these investigations, we don't go on a hunch. We go on physical evidence.
No, I understand that. That's the thing.
And we've been working for a whole year on this case.
I understand all that, but you also have to understand that I'm a person too. I'm not the physical evidence. I'm not the black and white. I'm actually having to, you know what I'm saying, think about some things, and I'm trying to remember too, because it's like some of it like shit just happens so fast to where it's like what.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up, okay? We're gonna conclude the interview.
Alright.
So,
But before we do, you asked me a question.
okay.
My mind doesn't work like everybody else's.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I spent 20 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried to maintain, I guess, what you think normal shit is. I don't know. But you asked me, but I'm also like having to deal with this and relive it myself.
So listen, we'll have maybe we'll have an opportunity to talk again. We're gonna conclude the interview, okay? I'm gonna consult with Pierce County Prosecutor's Office, okay? Today, you're gonna be arrested for controlled substance homicide, okay? So I got an officer out here, he's gonna transport you to Pierce County Jail. Like I said, we'll consult with the prosecutor's office. You'll have an attorney and we'll go through that whole thing, okay?
Ultimately, Anthony was charged with homicide by controlled substance. He pleaded not guilty in August of 2024 and is still awaiting sentencing. Meanwhile, her family is left in limbo yet again. Following his arrest, her mother, who has since passed, told the media, "I honestly thought it would somehow ease my pain, maybe give me a moment of relief, let me catch my breath, but it didn't. I don't get her back. She's not coming home. She's really gone." Our thoughts are with Chloe's friends, family, and loved ones. We hope you enjoyed today's video. 85% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so if this is the kind of content you come back for, just hit subscribe. It's the single biggest thing you can do to support the channel. If you want to keep watching more, check out one of the most intense cases we've ever covered right here, or catch up on our latest upload right here.